using that technique, I basically said all the stuff that I wanted this particular person to say. And then, yes, as I knew, sent me a voice note, and he basically said everything that I had wanted to hear. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I've been asked a few times about what are some of the things that I've manifested, and I've hesitated on doing this video because with the law and the law of the law of assumption, or just the law, you are always manifesting. So I've always felt like for me to then make a video on just specific things that I've manifested is a bit, I don't know, because I'm always manifesting. You're manifesting every single day. But I get it, and I get that obviously people want to know specific things that that you have manifested and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a few things in this video, some of which at the time I didn't necessarily know that I was manifesting them, but now that I look back, I know, now that I look back on it, I know how I manifested it and what I did. So I'll talk about the things I manifested, and then I will also give the technique or what I used at the time to manifest that particular thing. Because yeah, I've said it many times, but I will say it again. Techniques do not manifest for you. They are just tools. But I know that, you know, everyone likes a technique. Everyone likes something that they can follow that they believe is going to bring a desired result. So that's okay. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to get this one manifestation thing out of the way, because I know it's something that a lot of people, even I was there, want to manifest it. One big thing that I've manifested is I have manifested an ex back before, and I spoke about it in a previous video, but wanting to do that and doing that is what led me to my spiritual awakening. But yeah, so I manifested an ex back. Now, it's something that I personally don't want to talk about too much on my channel in terms of making stories about how to manifest specific people and all that kind of stuff, because that's not what I want my channel to be about. However, I'm going to direct you to the person who I watched at the time and all that kind of stuff. Her YouTube name, or her name is 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗟𝗍𝗟. But yeah, so anyway, so I wanted to manifest my ex back. It was like heartbreak. I wanted to manifest this particular ex back. I came across her YouTube channel, and some of the things, a few of the techniques I used on her channel was, so one thing I used was the whispering technique. And I also think for me, around the time when me and this person broke up, or I say broke up, or we stopped dating, I was going on holiday later that year, and I just had this inner knowing, I just knew that I'm going to go on holiday, I'm getting a new wig, I'm going to look fine. I just knew, I don't know, I just had this inner sense, this inner knowing that is going to be the time that he comes back and we rekindle things and all that kind of stuff. But obviously during that time, obviously you're going through heartbreak, you're very upset, so it can be hard to believe and all that kind of stuff. So I was watching her YouTube videos, I watched all her success stories, and I did all the self-love stuff that she talks about. And I've said before about how it's not, so for me, it's not self-love that's going to manifest things for you, but if you love yourself and you truly believe and know that if you love yourself, then of course you can have what you want, of course you can have those things. It makes trying to manifest something that much easier, because you then have less thoughts that go against that, because if you love yourself, you're going to have thoughts that yes, you deserve this, yes, you can have that. But yeah, so I was doing all of that, and one particular technique of hers that I did was the whispering technique. And I'd basically, using that technique, I basically said all the stuff that I wanted this particular person to say. And then, yes, as I knew, when I went on that holiday, this person reached out. And then we started speaking again, and then a little bit later down the line, maybe like a month or so later, he sent me a voice note, and he basically said everything that I had wanted to hear in the whispering technique. And I think even with me, like even so when it came to manifesting him back, even though I'd known deep down that like I knew roughly, like I just had a knowing of like when it's gonna happen and all that kind of stuff. When it got to that time and I went on that holiday, I had completely let go of the situation, in a sense that this person wasn't really on my mind. Like, yes, I might have thought about him, but I wasn't focused on like, I need to manifest this person back, or I want to manifest him back. I think at the time I'd probably even forgotten about the fact that I had thought that he's gonna come back, or he's gonna message me, or he's gonna reach out when I go on this holiday. Apart from obviously when he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I just knew this was gonna happen. Like I manifested this. But yeah, that is one of the main things. But yeah, like I said, specific people stuff is not something that I necessarily want to talk about on my channel. So if that is what you want to manifest right now, if that's what your focus is, then I would definitely go and watch Ughnez's videos, or find someone else that does talk about manifesting specific people back, manifesting exes back, or specific people and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is that. I think so. A few recent manifestations that I did. I recently manifested. So I have a brand. It's not manifesting related, which is why I don't talk about it on this channel. But I have a brand. But I wanted to manifest over 20,000 followers on TikTok, and I wasn't specific. So what I did for this is I literally wrote on a piece of paper, like on a little post-it note, I wrote like, I'm so grateful. I don't have it anymore. I wrote something along the lines of like, I'm really grateful that I get to reach out to over 20,000 people on TikTok. Now, I wasn't specific because I have my own TikTok, Natasha Lauren, and then I also have my brand TikTok. But I wasn't specific. And basically what I did, just every morning when I woke up, I would just read it to myself, and I would just, be grateful, be happy, just think about it. And then, yeah, like I said, I wasn't very specific, and the 20,000 ended up being on my brand. Sorry, the 20,000 followers ended up being on my brand. It has like over 20,000 at the moment. But yeah, but that's why you need, like, not you need to, but it's important to get specific about what you want. And just saying like, I have over 20,000 followers, what does that mean? Like for what kind of thing? If you just have one particular TikTok or one particular Instagram account, then it's fine. But for me, where I have more than one and I wasn't specific, it went to my brand, which obviously I am grateful for. But that's a recent thing that I manifested. I've also manifested meeting specific people. This has both been when it comes to romantically and with friends. Again, at the time I didn't realize I was doing it, but one of my exes, I remember being in my bathroom. I remember I just said to myself, like, I want to meet someone who is tall, like I think I even said a height. I think I said like 6'2" or something like that. Has XYZ attributes, does this, does that, all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of just did it once and then just forgot about it. And then I don't know the time frame, because at the time I was like, no, starting off, let me backtrack. Initially, the first time I did it, I'd said I want to meet someone that is like 6'2", that's really, really smart, like me. Another thing I manifested is grades before, but we'll get onto that. That's really, really smart and all that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know the time frame, but then I ended up meeting a person that was basically more or less everything that I had like said to myself. That didn't work out. So then I was like, no, I don't want that anymore. But I had remembered that, okay, like, I didn't consciously know that I was manifesting, but I was like, well, you know, it's like, oh, like I said that to myself, and then I met that person. So I don't know, let me just try it again. So another time I said, I want to meet someone that is like 6'2", whatever. But this time I was like, I want them to be like into music. I want them to be like creative and all this kind of stuff. And then again, I met a person that was exactly like that. I've even done it with like, I've used that with like friends before. So before I went to uni, I said that like I want to meet like a female friend who is like just like me. You know, we have so much fun together, we laugh, we joke, like just like me, and someone that I'm like great friends with, etc. I then met that person. And then more recently, sometime last year, for a while, so I spoke about my spiritual awakening in a different video, and me feeling very like alone, and you know, how like for me, like my main set of friends aren't necessarily into manifesting and spirituality and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to meet someone that is, and I said like, you know, now I knew about manifesting, I was like, okay, I want a friend that's like that. I've done this many times before. I'm just gonna say what I want, and I let it go. So I just said to myself, like, I want to meet a female friend that knows about manifesting, like she manifests stuff herself, like, you know, I can actually talk to this person about it, like they know what I'm talking about, we're both on this journey, etc. And then there's always like the bridge of incidents, there's always stuff that happens that leads you to it. And another one of my friends reached out randomly for me to like come and do this, to come and like present on a show that she's having. Very random, very out of the blue, not a normal situation. And then I went. At the time when I met this girl, I didn't know that this was the girl, because I remember even while we was like recording, I remember like, because we was recording for like a whole week, and I remember even though I'd met this person, I didn't know that this was the friend that I had manifested into my life. Because I remember going on like a break, and I was still saying it, I just said it again to myself. I was like, yeah, like I just really want to meet someone that's into manifesting, that knows all this stuff, that I can talk to about it, etc. And then, like I said, we are there for a week. And then I remember another day in that week, I remember me and this girl, I can't remember how we got onto the topic, but we started talking about manifesting, and she's telling me all this stuff about what she knows about manifesting, and I'm telling her about what I know about manifesting. And then it just clicked. I'm like, this is the girl that I manifested into my, you know, this is the friend that I wanted to manifest, you know, this is it. We are still great friends now. And she's actually the reason why I started my whole YouTube channel, because, you know, she pushed me to do this and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. I said about, you know, grades and me being smart and all that kind of stuff. I've always been smart, but I definitely did struggle with maths. And I remember when I was doing my GCSEs, I didn't necessarily think it was something that was possible for me, but I was like, I want an A star. At the time, I didn't know I was manifesting it, but I remember again being in my room and being like, I am getting an A star in maths. And then I got my A star. I remember as well that I'd like made a deal with my parents, which looking back now, I definitely should have said more money. But at that age and at that time, it was a lot of money. But I think I said to my parents, like, I want X amount, I can't remember, maybe like £100 for every A. I want X amount like per A star that I get. And then I think my dad has said like, okay, if you get 5 A stars, then you can get whatever. And then, you know, that's what I wanted. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get the 5 A stars. I'm gonna get them. I ended up getting 6 A stars in the end. But again, at that time in my life, I didn't know that I was necessarily manifesting it. Now looking back, I can see that I did. With those two situations when it came to grades, I had just decided and I just knew, and I told myself that this, like, I'm getting an A star in maths, I am getting the 5 A stars. And at that time in my life, I just followed whatever felt natural for me to do. And I think with the maths thing, one of the maths teachers had randomly decided that she's gonna start doing these like, oh, I can't remember, it was like these after school things that you could go to and get extra help. Obviously, again, that was like the bridge of incidents with the other A stars that I manifested. I can't remember specifically the things that led to that, and obviously it comes with studying and you know and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've also manifested. I wanted to go to Birmingham University. And I ended up manifesting a unconditional offer to Birmingham. What had happened in the end, basically, relationship issues, etc. I didn't do as well as I'm definitely capable of in my first year in AS level, so year 12. And I remember there was this guy that worked at the school. He was like, I don't know what the name would be, but he was the person that would like review and look into like what unis you should apply to based on what grades you got. And I remember going to him and he was like, based on these grades, you're not going to be going to any Russell Group university. So I was like, nope, I am going to Birmingham. I then just got inspired. Like with that, again, it was just a thought, and I wasn't genuinely doing anything specific for it, but it was just a thought. And it was just like, I know, like, I'm going to Birmingham. I just knew, it was something in my mind that I had just decided I'm going to Birmingham. Again, a bridge of incidents. I had like inspired action to go and speak to the head of sixth form and ask if I could resit the year, which they let me do. And then I got my unconditional offer to Birmingham. Then on the flip side of that, I spoke about another video, but I ended up, so this is something where, so at this point, I was like, okay, I'm going to consciously manifest this. But basically, again, relationship issues and depression and all this kind of stuff. And this was before I had my spiritual awakening, but I did know about manifesting. I didn't pass an exam that would allow me to go into my final year. So they basically kicked me out of university. But I said, no, I'm completing this. I am completing uni. And then, so with this, I think this is around the time where like I had watched The Secret. And I can't remember, but someone in it said something about like, like writing something down on a piece of paper and keeping it somewhere where you can always see it to always remind you. So that particular technique that I did is I printed out like a copy of like what's it called, like a certificate, your degree certificate, and I wrote my name on it, and I wrote University of Birmingham and what I studied, etc. And I put it like up against my bed. I put it like above my bed so that I would see it like every single day. That's what I would focus on when I wake up. It's the first thing that I would see. I would visualize like my parents coming to the university, obviously once it's all completed and all that kind of stuff. And then that is like a long story of how it happened. There was a whole bridge of incidents with that, which definitely at one point looked like they were just not going to let me back. But I got back into uni. So yeah, that's another thing that I've manifested. Like I said, so with when it comes to the law of assumption, like you're always manifesting. So I feel as if like, you're always manifesting. And like I said, those are just some of like the few things that I'm like, okay, like I definitely can see and I know how I manifested those things, and I consciously manifested them, or I wasn't aware that I manifested them, but now looking back, I know how I did it. I know what I did. But I definitely feel like, so I did like this is why, so for me, when it comes to the law of assumption, it's about understanding as well that like you're not just manifesting when you're manifesting these these amazing things and these good things. If you know about the law and you know about the law of assumption, then you're always manifesting. So even negative things that I have experienced, even things that are not so like amazing and stuff like that, I have manifested. And I think there can definitely be like this issue of like people like only obviously wanting to hear like the good stuff, the positive stuff, and like this level of like toxic positivity if it comes to like the law of attraction, where you're just told all the time that you need to stay positive and have high vibration and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I have manifested. Obviously, as you follow me along my, you know, this journey and you watch more videos, you'll see more stuff. I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah, you'll see like more things along the way. But yeah, I thought I would just make a quick little video for you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions about the particular techniques that I use or things like that, then definitely comment below. Let me know some things that you've manifested, whether it's been you manifesting it consciously or when you didn't really know about manifesting, but now you can, you know, see how you manifested that thing. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.